Hey, we're here with Josh Samuel, who was on my one-to-one coaching right way back. Like literally, I think we've been working together 7 years, and then we moved him onto the course, and then we went back to one-to-one, and literally worked with Josh for 7 years up till last summer. So I thought I'd get you in and chat about it all. How exciting! So who are you, and what do you do?
Josh Samuel, as I've already been introduced. I'm a DJ producer from Liverpool, but actually now, as of last week, currently residing in Manchester. I produce predominantly like tech house music and have been doing so for the best part of, I would say, like 8, 9, 10 years now. But yeah, I had some successful releases over the years and signed a nice deal with a record label called Good Company last year, putting out some more club commercial crossover music in 2025. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Nice. And Anton's such a lovely person to work with. I've known Anton for many years as well. He's such a great person to work with. He knows
Um,
so much. It's like mental.
Mate, he's honestly he's a legend. And you know what? I actually never knew until I went down to the offices in London. They're in Camden, and I never knew he was a Liverpool fan until I went in. And it just makes things so much better. I was like, oh, the relief. It feels like home when you went in there. But yeah, he's got loads of family ties at Liverpool, so that was nice. But yeah, he's a legend, and he's a mastermind at what he does.
Has he been to Anfield with you yet?
No, he hasn't. But I think it's on the cards. I think that everyone, all the offers have been subtly putting, so can we get some tickets? And I'm like, I think it's on the cards this year. I mean,
Nice.
I'll be on to them if it's for the last game of the season, if Liverpool end up winning it. So then we're going
You
like
know
gold.
it. Okay, what was the challenge you were experiencing that made you want to work with me way back? Can you remember? Jesus, that's a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, you know what? I think back then you thought you were a good producer every year on year. And I thought, I wanted to stand. And to be fair, we almost did. But, I wanted to basically start. I think your course at the time, you had some contacts, you helped reach some record labels and basically start building some artists up from the bottom. And
Hmm.
I hadn't really released anything yet. I'd been basically putting out some edits and stuff like that, hadn't I? Of my own personal edits.
Yeah.
I'd been getting some good traction from them at the time in like 20, I think it was 2018.
Yeah. Such a long time ago.
Yeah, 2018, I think it was. I think Michael Bibby started playing some of my edits, which is nice. And then to be honest, we wanted to start making some originals. And I thought, right, Graham's probably the guy who can help me get some contacts because I'd seen I can't remember, you'd worked with someone previous, one of my friends, and someone recommended you. And I was like, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. And you know what, it worked out all right, didn't it? Getting some real good traction,
Hmm.
like the summer of 2023.
Yeah.
The back end, like that was really a big momentum off Heartbreaker and then some big releases. And it just, it came to a big halt because I think,
I always think if it's as disheartening as that weekend Eyes was, anything is better than that weekend. like I told that story last night. I was doing a webinar and I was like, we had this record and CamelPhat were fucking playing it and
mate,
Solardo wanted it and then the world shut down and we were
mate, could
like,
that, genuinely, I actually say to Grace all the time, I go, I genuinely don't think there could have been worse timing. And as well, like Graham, times were different back then.
hmm,
Releasing records and stuff like that was different back then because, like, I'm not saying that the market's saturated now, but there's a lot more music coming out. There's a lot more producers. Lockdown created a lot more producers. They have more time.
yep.
Releases aren't the same as they used to be in like 2019, 2020.
Hmm.
That if you had them releases of that caliber back then and what was happening, we both knew what was happening.
Yeah, we felt it. And then all of a sudden
Uh,
it was like, and we had to
And
basically pick it,
that
pick you up off the floor if it was mad, right?
that would have just completely catapulted me into the next
Yeah.
level. I put myself as I was about to follow the footsteps of Sosa from Liverpool, is where he had the
Oh,
release on SOLA with DCFW or DFCW or whatever, and then yeah, and I was like, oh shit, like that's about to happen, and it just stopped, and then the
yeah.
world.
In a day as
Mate,
well.
the music industry just changed so much. I was like, oh God. But look, I'm still here. I'm still about, so can't be that bad.
Yeah, and we rebuilt it, and it was like, holy moly! Like, you just got to you got to pick yourself up and roll on from it because
Oh,
otherwise, it's
absolutely.
just,
Yeah, you can't. That's the one thing I think you learn, don't you? Is that you have so many falls, but like you've just got to as you said, pick yourself up, keep going because
mm,
if you get too caught up in it, which I have, hands up. I think you will have so many times been there. I know we've had many chats over the years of
Mm.
issues that we've both had. If you get caught up in it, it's a spiral, isn't it? You just end up.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times with producers as well. Like they'll just disappear for 12 months, and then you literally reset yourself. Like I've seen it with producers recently. Like they disappear for 12 months to have a break, and then you just everything moves on so fast that you're reset, and you're having to then go back up, start at the bottom of the ladder for the labels, and start at the bottom of the ladder for your streams, and you just got to keep the consistency. It's consistency in everything. Like, but especially with releasing music.
To be honest, it was great because one thing led to another from that record with Eyes because obviously it was unfortunate what happened, but however it did lead on to a lot of other releases. Obviously, that was due with the Camels and that came out with SOLA, but then that led with a long-term relationship with Solardo for a lot of other
Mm.
records. The probably predominantly my most popular record, which was Heartbreaker, which led to having such a good relationship with Solardo because that ended up becoming one of their biggest selling records on the record label. But yeah, no, we had some great success. People don't see, do they? Whereas they think it's just like a one thing that happens there and then, but it wasn't. It was over years. You had to we built the relationship, didn't we, with artists over years, and whether or not the relationships are still there or not, that's part of building yourself as an artist and you grow and evolve, don't you? So.
Yes.
But no, it was good. We really did have some success with some records, didn't we?
Yeah, that Heartbreaker one was really good. Like watching that one, it's just go and like obviously then Fisher started playing it, Solardo started playing it, John Summit started playing it. And it was just like that was a great time. It was a buzzing time. I think it was just before Christmas, and we were just like it was so exciting, wasn't it?
I mean, it actually it spanned over a while because the story of I was sending every single record I made to Solardo at the time, so it was. I think that was the case. I think we had the contact there. Then you were just like anything you make, just go, just keep sending, and I did. I sent that one, and to be honest, it's always funny because you don't. It's always the record that you don't think that's that good that ever makes it. I mean, with the Eyes one, I mean, it makes me actually cringe. I think I remember I sent you probably didn't actually check how big the folder was, but that initial folder that we sent to CamelPhat that had 10 demos in, and I'm like, I would never ever do that again.
Oh, I don't
But
know. I think I might have. I don't know if because I remember DMing them that, and I think I probably shared just like because with SoundCloud you can share just
oh, you can
one
share the
track
second links.
separate link from there. So I think because I think I shared just one track of the playlist. So I also quite like that as a little hack. Like you share the one link from a bigger playlist, and if they want to go back and they can
You can
people that
dig
know
back
they can dig back into the rest of the playlist and see if they like other stuff. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, no, it was because that spanned over a while. I sent Heartbreaker to Solardo, and then I didn't even know they were going to play it. I think it being that quick, they must have downloaded it straight away, and I would never have known unless one of my friends was in the crowd at Tomorrowland. One of my best friends, Grahame, was in the crowd. Thankfully, he listens to all my songs like before they go. I go, "What you think?" And I send him all my unreleased stuff. He actually recognized because it was my voice singing on the record. He was stuck in the crowd, and he was like, "Why do I know this song?" And then thankfully after that, obviously I got the video sent and it gave me sort of some leverage to Solardo to say like, look, it seems like you really like it. You've played it at Tomorrowland. Like, do you want to go ahead with it? And God, I think it spanned over like 3 months that all Vintage Culture, Fisher, John Summit, they all started playing it then. And yeah, I think it came out like it was before Christmas. It was like November, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I seem to remember because I remember Fisher started playing it in the January because he was doing some shows in Australia and we kind of come back from Christmas and then all of a sudden it was being played everywhere in January and that was quite a buzzing kind of start to the year, I seem to remember.
Yeah, it was really good success, and for what we did with it, the campaign and stuff, it was really good,
Hmm.
and yeah, Slido were really helpful with it, weren't they? They really did push the record, especially on the socials and stuff. So yeah, shout out to them.
How did working with me positively impact you?
You know what? I always say this, and I take it everywhere, mate, and I tell it to everyone. It positively impacted me because I think you taught me this, and it was the small wins, and I've said this to you before, but it was that you become so caught up, but once you take that next step, so if you've never had your song played by a DJ before, your first time you get to play by that DJ, you're so excited, but then
Hmm.
once you get played by more DJs, that play by that DJ isn't as exciting anymore. And
Hmm.
you kind of made me realize keep taking them every time a DJ plays it. No, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
You need to be as excited as you were back then because you being excited about it, it brings it to your socials. You bring the excitement to your socials and stuff like that. Is where if you become a little bit like, oh, the DJ's played it, like great. No, you need to keep posting about it again. You
Mm.
can't be bigger than the record or whatever's happened. And that's one thing that I've learned is every time a DJ plays my songs now, even if he's played 10 of my songs, for instance, James Hype's playing most of my records now that comes out.
Amazing.
I make sure I put them on my social straight away. I've got to be excited. I've got to be excited about that small win every single time because it keeps you going as an artist. It keeps the confidence up all the time.
Yeah, love it. That's really cool. What tangible results did we achieve?
You can talk about the successful records, but it's more about the successful relationships that you've made with artists, I think, and sort of you find your avenue, don't you? Really, you find your avenue, which you feel like the lane that you fit in. Because I feel like at the very, very start of our relationship, I was making tech house, but I didn't really have a lane that I was going down. And I feel like
Mm.
we slowly figured out where we were going down, and you found yourself in your lane of as an artist of where you fit. And I
Yep.
know everyone says like you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself, but to some degree, you are in a certain lane of what you want to do. And it does help at the start because it helps you sort of narrow yourself down and sort of, guide yourself a little bit. Yeah, of course, when you're a little bit bigger, i.e. like Dom Dollar can now make drum and bass records.
I think also you grow fans because people like you, like that record, they like the previous record, they like the next record, and they because you're going in a straight direction in a straight lane, you'll grow audience because people like familiarity sort of thing.
Absolutely. Well, we had that with some records where someone had like DM me about a record and they'd be like, it's amazing. And then they'd DM me again and be like, oh, by the way, I found this other one that you released last year. And I think one of them we put on data transmission
Yeah.
and I think they'd found a record and they were like, also, I've just found this one that came out and it was like a record that we released. And I remember sending it to you being like, this is the perfect reason of why you keep the continuity on some records earlier on because
Mm.
people go, oh, that style's nice and I like this artist and you've got yourself a supporter.
Yeah, 100%. They become the fans and then the ones that come up to the gigs, It's like perfect. Were there any results that you got that you weren't expecting that were pleasantly surprised you?
Yeah, I honestly I didn't think that the DJs that we had playing my music at the time would play them, or whether or not it was a baptism of fire, would you say, for us? Because
Yeah.
I don't think personally I was ready, or maybe you. I think we weren't really expecting it, but it was probably a quick learning curve. We really did get thrown in the deep end. I think that was probably what I was most surprised about is that oh wow, people, real big artists here who've been in the game for years are now playing my records and it kind of pushed me in the studio to be better, which probably when we were at the start, I probably wasn't really ready.
Yeah, the network delivered and got people playing them and then it was like shit, we've got people playing them.
That was literally it. It was like this was meant to take 18 months. It's took two. But this is not. We were flicking through the manual book to the back page. Like, where do we go from here?
The network delivered. We got the people opening the emails and listening to the tracks. Now, right. Let's we got to open a new to new. Where do we go next? This is wicked. And it was
Yeah,
exciting as well. Like,
absolutely. I mean, I think, yeah, obviously COVID came at the time, but actually at the same time, it gave me a lot more time to, make myself better as a producer because looking back in hindsight, I wasn't there. But now, that fast forward the things a lot quicker for me because it was like, you were going to me, look, come on, we need some more records. We need, let's increase, let's increase the quality of the records. And, yes, it was still slow, but it was a lot faster than it was going to be. So, it progressed me as an artist really quickly. I don't think, without those initial like crazy results that I probably wouldn't have got any more results after that.
and finally, what would you tell someone who's considering investing and working with me?
I would say listen, because personally for me, as an artist, I know for me, and I don't know where it's anyone else, so I'm just going to tell my side is you feel like you're better than you have that feeling that you're a lot better than you are. And that's great because that was confidence.
Mm.
But, at the same time, you've been in the game a lot longer. You understand artist levels a lot more, especially as a new artist coming in. You understand the levels that they're at. And okay, yes, great. We had a lot of success very quickly and it could happen again for someone else. But a lot of them is a lot slower and
Mm.
you put the guidance in order at the start. Whereas, for a lot of artists, they'll just be like, "Oh, I want to go and I want this DJ to play the most." But sometimes you just need to start a little bit lower and just build that slowly. And I think that's
Mm.
where, for me, I think I remember our first couple of meetings, I was like, oh, but I want this DJ to play my stuff and I want to be on this record label. But sometimes, you kind of just reset me and it was like, hang on a minute, Josh, let's just start from here and build our way up. And
Mm.
yeah, I think that's personally, what it was good for me, it was that you put me on the straight and narrow, and
Nice.
it was though, you know, if for some other people, I just really thought it was a lot easier, and I do think a lot of artists these days think it's a lot easier, but it wasn't. You know, you kind of set it out and was like, no, this is where it's going to be. This is what we can do. At the same time, it's also trying to keep the confidence up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel
Mm.
like, you know, you weren't batting me down, being like, you're not as good as you're meant to be. You sort of put me on a levels where like, no, look, you're here, you're good, but like, let's hit this target, then let's hit this target, and let's hit this target. Do you know what I mean? And it helped you sort of grow as an artist, and it really did. It really
Wicked.
did help.
Thank you, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for
So,
doing this. I really appreciate it. It's been fun. And I look forward to watching. I love watching now everything that happens, like moving forward. Every time there's a release, I'm like, go on. And every time there's a big plan, I'm like, go on. I'm still just as excited. Like, I literally I shout like when there's something happens that's great for you. So I'm really pleased for you. And I can't wait to see what happens this year.